welcome to the third season of the University Alliance Cup, featuring, of course, our favorite game, Valorant.
Really?
I'm Dax, he's Vimino.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Yes. Hello.
Welcome, Vimino.
Greetings. Hello po, mga kaibigan. Look at this shiny jacket and this neon light right behind me. Class S over here. Sige nga, what's your impression of me?
Third round turnaround. That's
Ang galing!
pretty much-
Ang galing! Ang galing!
That's pretty much all. That really sticks, okay? I don't know why, but it
Yeah.
does. But the fact of the matter is, Dax, University Alliance Cup wouldn't be a thing without our amazing sponsors and partners. UAC 2021 is powered by Globe Telecom, our official telco sponsor. Of course, Asus Republic of Gamers, our official gaming PC and laptop partner. Shoutouts to Logitech G as well, and Twitch Student, our platform partner. Awesome stuff, guys. Again, my first time casting here at UAC, and pleasure to be with you, my partner in crime, as always, Dex.
Yes, and we got to at least work with our fellow PPGL talent, on the other side of the side, other side, other broadcast
side of
Filipino.
the side. That's
Other side of the side, diba? We're stacking things up, and from English only, we became the Filipino people as well. So shout outs to Rere as well, and shout outs to you guys, of course. We wouldn't be here without your support, especially the fan bases of the teams. I think that's the biggest one. Na yung mga people na, hoy, para sa school natin, para sa team na to, diba? They believe in each other, and without that support, I wouldn't see that these teams have that extra bit of motivation to do better. So keep on cheering, keep on watching. We got more Akit Arena after today, guys. Siyempre may next week pa, and we go on and on and on until we've reached the very end. But at the end of this journey for today, Mr. Brimmel, we will have one final match. And when you look at these rosters, immediately you can think it's going to be a battle of the carries. MCL Warlocks versus USC Portal Warriors. On one side for MCL, you have Yanagi, and USC, you have Farsai Jin. And besides that, though, it's been a cold streak, I gotta say, for USC. It's been a struggle and a half. They haven't won a match as of yet. Too many surprises after their incredible performance from last time. But MCL, they're 1-1 and they're looking to ascend even higher here, Vim.
I mean, coming into this, it really is a battle of the carries. You got to talk about Yanagi. You got to talk about Fireside Jin, which is... Is he?
I guess we'll find out. I'm not sure. I wish I knew. I wish they had.
I know what he looks like. It's just like
yeah,
it's kind of hard to tell from the camera angle. But we'll have to wait and see.
It's gonna be interesting. But we mentioned that for good reason. Of course, it's a whole team effort. But the thing is, when you have those professionally experienced players, they really bring something else to the table. And I think we get confirmation right there on the right hand side that he's not there. So. Okay, Biminal, wait, I need a new script. Battle for the carries, rip it apart. This is a proving ground for the USC next generation coming into this one. If this is going to be the roster they're going to be playing on, if this will be the next generation of the Portal Warriors, then this is the perfect time to go for it. Gone are the days of looking for the carry. It's now time to move on as a unit. But on the flip side, you still got FCL Warlocks, tried, tested, and believe in the power of Yanagi. I believe in Yanagi all the time, my friend. Besides that, though, I like it, though. I like it when a team has still that enough of a roster to play on. They have a roster that they can build on in the first place, that they can continue into the next generation of what University of San Carlos will bring to the Akit Arena circuit. And in this situation, well, it's time for them to prove it because they haven't gotten the win as of yet. And comparing to their previous performance before in season number 2, it's a far cry. They want to have at least a little bit of that, an inkling, a glimpse of that greatness from before their Feminal.
They gotta sort of channel that back, I guess, from, that glimpse of greatness from the past. You gotta replicate that success coming into this. But again, a huge factor is one of their main players, arguably a star player of their entire team. Actually, it's not subject to debate. He's not here. Fire Sergeant is not here for the side of, I do believe, Portal Warriors, right?
Yeah.
So, changing out one player can drastically affect the dynamic of the team. Even if they're going to be equal in terms of raw skill level, it's going to be completely different. And we've seen that time and time again when we've had familiar faces in the scene, just change one single player. everything sort of falls apart in one way or another. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. So we'll see.
Well, we'll see what part that will be for the University of San Carlos. It's an experiment, it's a try, and we are here to enjoy what they will bring to the battlefield. Doesn't mean that USC is out of it whatsoever. It was a team effort to get that record in the first place, Vim, back in season number 2. And the thing is, for USC, they want to build on that foundation. They got that confidence that they can be that top team. And with a win over MCL, that will be the first step in the first place. But for the Warlocks, if they get this victory, it's going to be even better for them. Thrust them at the higher echelons of the scoreboard. Go for broke and go for more. And keep an eye out, of course, on Yanagi, who gets first blood as soon as we mention his name. Ice on the board as well versus Roma Ford in the meantime looking on around, but it's Mike right now with the refrag there. 3v4 for the Warriors though. They have been stopped in that 8-tick, but as I say that Ramen here, he's going for that B site. He's looking for a few more targets, and he's cleared things out pretty well so far for Porto Warriors to stay on the west side. But then again, the Warlocks are rallying, and they're going for broke and going for more. Ramen though with another takedown. 3v3 here.
Ramen is making this a winnable condition. Now it's actually 3v2 now, despite the Sova being a sliver of HP here.
Revealing area.
Ice is going to go for that recon dart, try to get a little bit of information to attempt that retake. But with a proper post-plant position here, coming in from the Porto Warriors, it might be a tough task for the Warlocks here.
Alright, so sticking all around. We got Ramen go by the yellow crate, and Akuma with the final takedown. Porto Warriors, they will take that first win. Every round gonna count. It's all about that momentum. And you can see some smiles there, getting that dub. It was a good effort there from Ramen, really. He was able to navigate all the way to B side, make the openings, and that was the staging ground for their success, Bim.
Yeah, without Ramen's heroic work there, that would have never been possible. But the fact that he was able to get a 2K right there really opened up the possibilities, equalizing the numbers for both teams. Now, you're all going to be committing to Spectres and Full Armor, so wouldn't be surprised if this was a 2-0. And what a way to cap the night off, Dex. It's going to be a full-on mirror matchup, by the way.
Yeah, this is just the Icebox Classic. And we've seen innovation versus tradition, but this is what Collegiate Esports is all about. Getting into the thick of things, brawling and being the better team mechanically and with the composition in hand. It's all about going for the differences, all about getting outclass the Porto Warriors with the gun diff and a flawless win. 2-0 for the Porto Warriors in this round.
Second round, done and dusted. But the Warlocks, this time around, they're going to be having those full buys. They're going to be having those rifles. Let's see if they can turn things around in round number 3. And you know what? In all honesty, I love this type of Valorant meta. When you go for those aim-heavy compositions, when you go for those aim-heavy matchups, it's really sort of my cup of tea. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always the guy who rolls a warrior in World of Warcraft. It's just, I'm a very one-dimensional guy.
You just want to see them fight. You want to see them fight, Vim. And no, you're incredible. Don't worry. I see you, Criminal, from all angles. As Warlock sees all the angles of A side and makes it happen. I'm trying to figure out how I would make my character work in this situation like this. But there's no real super sneaky guy that's actually useful. And Yoru is not a useful agent whatsoever. The thing is though, Warlocks, they're back on the beat. They cast the spell, and quickly as they come, they will just expel Porto Warriors of that 8-take. 1-2 now, a third round turnaround. And what we did this so far though is for Porto Warriors, that 8-take, it's usually stopped by the Warlocks on the defense.
You know, here's the thing. Portal Warriors, you could have done a little bit of an adjustment in terms of their execute coming into that bonus round. You're not going to be able to take on the Warlocks head on if you don't have any rifles over there on the east side. They could have gone for a mid take instead. They do have the barrier orb and of course the toxic screen to go for that mid take, try to take closer range battles, but that didn't happen. Now Ramen is going to try to make an opening onto B long here, perhaps pave the way for the rest of his team.
And watch out for Ramen. He might be the one to step on up truly here for the Portal Warriors. But Yanagi, Guardian gameplay for him. He finds 2 before Kaiju will get the refrag. But that's what the beauty of the Guardian is. If he can hit those shots, he should be effective in those long ranges. Unfortunately for Aroma, got too much of that smell. Port in the meantime finding two from the boiler. And with that small bit of hesitation, it allowed Warlocks to quickly close in the gap, get the takedowns, and Portal Warriors now left with the Sage, who has to navigate through the toxic fields of the Viper.
Just that Cassie.
Yep.
Yeah, I do believe it's Casey. He's gonna be finishing up the round 2-2. Now it's a tie score line. Now that they are gonna be in an eco state, I expect Portal Warriors to play at a default position. Perhaps take it down a notch, slow things down, try to get a pick or two before actually committing onto the site. Or at the very least, just try to make a dent in the eco of the Warlocks here. But those Marshals, they might challenge Belt.
Well, it's a good chance. It's a good try here. And they do have at least an effective range to stay away from the Warlocks rather than run on the just to die by the maze itself. Akuma though takes up the ball. Michael in the meantime finding Port. Yanagi now with a kill on the Ramen, slicing, dicing. But Aroma right now getting him a face full of lead. And this is why we have moved from knives into guns. Now then, Ice in his own field of Icebox, but can go for more. Alger right now, very, very dangerous in this scenario, but he did get covered on the left-hand side. Barrier Orb now navigated there by Portal Warriors. After everything's said and done, USC, they got a good take on a site, but they're focused way too much on the post-match situation, and they lose the Sova along the way. 2 for 2 though now, in terms of the target. One enemy killed there, but Straw in the meantime able to get a sip and able to get a slice of that one. Casey now defusing. Where's the snake bite? It's a little too late, my friend, and oh, it's pixel too far. Straw with 3, and this is the Warlocks right now gathering up the points and getting another one on the board. Operator now in the hands of Yanagi as MCL in control for the past 3 rounds.
Even if the snake bite actually landed a lot earlier, the spike wasn't really planted for that classic Viper lineup either. So that's definitely going to be a loss for the Portal Warriors. They definitely do have to be careful about that, especially if you're going to be playing for lineups. You got to make sure to land those when it counts. But now Yanagi is going to be trying to cement their momentum with the Operator, and he's been incredibly aggressive throughout this entire game. Again, this classic angle, see if it works. Does get the jiggle for a set of Ramen.
Stay down.
Welcome to the Yanagi show. That's my twin brother right there. That's the one you get, guys. That's it. I'm not gonna go for that one again. Aroma though now with a takedown onto Ice, and it will be a 4v4. But you mentioned it already. Yanagi, absolutely aggressive player, and he's the one willing to go for the fights as soon as possible. For MCL, he is that shining light in the darkness. He is that beacon of hope, and he has been one of the biggest reasons why the Warlocks have contended in the University Alliance Cup or Division A 3 times running. But now Aroma with a find onto Straw. Portal Warriors with a beautiful pick off there. Seems like for USC, they're fighting back with the pickoffs, and this time they get a good setup onto A. Warlocks though noticing the top screen, and now they're moving, they're going for the res, and Portal Warriors making it 5v3.
It's looking really good for the attackers thus far, unless Yanagi can pull off some crazy plays here. With an Operator, multiple targets is going to be multiple problems
30 seconds left.
right here and now.
Spike planted.
Casey though with the first pickoff, and here we have Yanagi still has the shot up to Aroma. Aroma already had the first tap, but Yanagi now with that second win, thanks to him getting away from death's door, and suddenly the Warlocks will unlock a site for their own. Man, just a split second too late there for the Portal Warriors. They already had the tactical advantage in the middle, but the Warlocks still come out ahead. They were happy to cheat that, and they were able to take the round because of it.
Okay, I learned now never to say that it's impossible for Yanagi, because this was just nuts. The way he did a quick scope onto Aroma, and then another onto Akuma right there. It's just incredible.
Just goes to show, you give Warlocks that second to spare. You give them half a second stay alive longer, you're gonna regret it immediately. And so quickly they get the flash offs. Now then, with that momentum,
Spike
they
down,
get even
attacker
more.
spawn.
We just started this round, and before the Warriors make that 3, make that 4 already gone. If you want to get rounds that quick, then this is gonna be it. The Warlocks right now just casting a spell, looking to make time even faster. And we already go into the next round after a flawless victory. Confidence here for the MCL Warlocks because they are just decimating the opposition for now.
It really is the name of the game here in the collegiate scene. You gotta intimidate your opponent, try to paralyze them, stop them dead in their tracks. Yanagi just caught them like a deer in the headlights. It's just him asserting dominance in every sense of the word, not giving any breathing room for the side of the Portal Warriors. It's so hard to predict where Yanagi's gonna pop out of with that operator.
Oh, don't worry, we can because we have him on the minimap, so we will know. For the Warriors, if they have that as well, we might need to check this and see that. But no, that's the thing. You make a good point because with how fleet-footed he has become here, Viminal, and the fact that he has so many options, and for the Warriors need to react in time. This time though, they did really well in that scenario. They fended Yanagi off. 40 HP now left for the Jet. Does get topped up to full on the HP department by the Sage on their side. But besides that, for the Warriors right now, they're gonna get stalled here. And the Warlocks, their decision is crucial. Will they go for the pinch, or will they just anticipate the rotation? Seems like it's more of the latter here, Viminal, as this is now the Portal Warriors stuck behind the yellow and trying to figure out where to go.
It doesn't even seem like they want to rotate at any point in time. They're just sort of running down the clock, perhaps not going to make any presence here, but it's just so obvious at this point that nobody's crossing mid, at least, you know, for now.
Well, in this case, Casey is just going to be behind the boxes, and the Warlocks, at the very least,
30 seconds left.
have great vantage points on the aggressive stance. This middle position is just not going to be touchable anymore for the Portal Warriors. They don't have the time to rotate to A side. It's only the brute force method that will get them results. And Ramen, they're already looking to be slippery. He finds 2 in the soup, and we get the Viper Spit into play as well. Straw, though, in the meantime, trying to stay up top, but it's still Portal Warriors getting the frags that they need. And in unexpected ways, we get a flawless victory from the starting point that was the Viper Spit. The Portal Warriors proving how potent they can be on the frags. And man, oh man, this matchup, it's really just all about who can dominate the other here, Viminal.
You know, from our POV, Dax, it seemed as if they were literally doing nothing, just waiting there over backside yellow. But, of course, without the information that we have, the other players feel that slight bit of hesitation, or perhaps a little bit of indecision. Are we going to rotate to A? Are they actually crawling their way to A right now, or are we going to stand our ground and hold B? And that those second thoughts actually allowed them to be able to get on the site.
Well, as soon as the decision was made for them, I gotta save them. As Aroma did get the tag on the fourth, but well, there you go, gets the kill. So anyway, it's all good and done. 4v4 makes it 4v3. So Warlocks holding with Ice, and he's an Ice Cold Killer! He has gotten 3 here! Just ice in his veins, chilling to the bone. Eventually, the Viper gonna be able to get that takedown. But man, what looked to be a proper push there for the Portal Warriors, denied by the Warlocks and the Sova.
It's all going to be down to Akuma. And, of course, Aroma here for the side of the Portal Warriors. Akuma does have the spike. But then again, here they are again, holding on to A site, just patiently waiting. And this time, Yanagi's going to be gaining information there in mid. So he's going to be knowing whether or not they're going to be rotating here. Toxic screen goes up. And it seems like Straw will have the information that they're going to be planning onto A side here. Does get a kill onto Roman, secures the round with the 2K onto Akuma as well. 6-3 now in favor of the Warlocks decks.
Yeah, it's just Straw there getting a taste of things, and the kamikaze dash from Aroma not really going to work out in that scenario when the opponent is already pointing at you. But we've noticed here for the Warlocks is they are so, I'd say, fortified when they're stationed. It really feels like when they're in a proper position, it's a power position. And we see it not just from Yanagi, we see it from the likes of Ice and Pord, Straw, Casey. doesn't really matter who here for Warlocks, but if you let them be a stalwart, be in their station, be in that location, then it can work on that. But in a contest like this, well, it's a bit different. Yanagi finding one after missing the first shot. They did lose one in return, though, along the way, so that's no Viper here for the side of the Warlocks. Portal Warriors has a chance now to go for the beat take with that smoke advantage. They're trying to take advantage here of Yanagi, though, finding a hole in the smoke. Seems like that's not an expected outcome there for the Portal Warriors. But anyway, the spike's planted now. And as we get the retreat from Kaiju, this is one monster slain there by Yanagi. Aroma, though, finding one answer.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful shot onto Aroma Yanagi.
Still finds the Viper there, and 3K here for Yanagi so far. Some more, he wants to go to the ace, and suddenly the blades are there, dancing alongside him. Aroma, this is one sniff he would not like whatsoever. One more bullet, perhaps to provide to shut down Yanagi, but Ice instead will protect his teammates. Enough about the highlights, we're looking for results, and the Warlocks now are up by 4 because of it.
You know, Dax, it's just a matter of fact that with a Viper on the other team, especially in a map like Icebox where your vision is pretty limited, sometimes it can be challenging to play an operator at ground level like that. But just because of his reaction time, the raw reaction time of Yanagi, it just makes it work. I mean, you can tell that he's quite the strapping young lad here, Dex.
Well, of course, Yanagi, handsome boy himself, you know it already. Incredible player, and I'm not saying that because of any of the analysis people might make. I really think that Yanagi has been one of the biggest reasons why MCL has gone this far and why he's still one of the members of that roster to begin with. Really goes to show how powerful he can be, and there you go. Case in point, Yanagi doing it yet again. Fortunately for him, though, Ramen has had his heyday as well. He has been showing up here for the Portal Warriors, and if anyone can contend with a powerhouse that is the Jet, it will be the Reina of Ramen on the other side. Strondo going through the poison, but he doesn't care! It's all about his feet burning, but the acid will not be enough to take him down. Eventually, it's Mike instead who gets 3, dunking on these two guys at the very end of that round. And the Portal Warriors, they're still alive, they're still fighting, but the Warlocks are in prime position to just blast off into the distance with one quick round win.
It was really, really fast indeed. And that's pretty much been the tale of this entire game thus far. Thanks to Yanagi, thanks to Ramen, and Aroma as well. Just hyper-aggressive plays time and time again, and we expect more of the same. This is the last round. Hunter's Fury is up. Viper's Spit is up. And then you also have the Blade Storm for Aroma. I'm going to be taking a lot of risks here. Yanagi, without a doubt, again, flanking from the mid lane.
Well, it's Yanagi. That's the thing. It's already expected from their Jets. Wants to take the ankle, but here we have it. Portal Warriors, right call. Stay away from Yanagi. Go for the push and look for the rampage there. And then Strondo, he was looking for the res, but he still finds the timing to get rid of Ramen anyway. And he gets Mike as well at the same time. Kaiji though with 2 so far. Roman right now with the blade. Yanagi trying to navigate on through, but Casey with the protection of his teammate. And the Viper right there playing the hero. Yanagi with the final kill. The saving grace that is the Viper. And the Warlocks, it was a team effort. Everyone tried to keep an eye out of each other. The res was the priority after everything was said and done. And the Warlocks, they're now up by 4 as we get into the second half. But 17 takedowns for the Yanagi show. Man, oh man, what a scoreline he's had so far.
I mean, it did take a while for Portal Warriors to be able to shut him down, or perhaps at least stand up to him. But if anyone's gonna be able to do it, definitely gonna be Ramen, as you mentioned earlier. For the side of Portal Warriors, he does have 11 takedowns, still nowhere near Yanagi's though. But I do see a glimmer of hope in him. If anyone's gonna be able to do it, it's gonna be him. Aroma trying to do his best, but just not quite reaching that point yet. But the thing is, if Ramen is gonna stand up against Yanagi, he doesn't have the mobility of a Jet. So that's also another thing.
Yeah, well, he does have the snowball potential, and if he can chain it against everyone else, then that will be their saving grace. But Aroma, he hasn't been able to reach that ledge as of yet, but that's the first hand there, the first finger to try and ascend. Beautiful pick off by Aroma versus Yanagi. Ramen in the meantime on the board. It seems like this is where pistols shine here for the Warriors. They have a good handle on the first round. Strondo with 2 so far. After the chain of kills he's been getting here. Kaiju though now shutting down Casey after Mike falls. And with only 55, 57 HP here for Straw, he needs to make a play. So there's the wall already. Still a small little hole, gap to put that spike down. Snow Orb though bounced around by Kaiju. He's a pinball wizard and he's looking to go for more. Will this just be a tilt frenzy for Straw? Seems like he has lost his ball and he has lost this round. It's Portland Warriors making the defense count. Pistol win. Pretty much one of their indicators to success. But that's not enough. They need more of these rounds. They need to tie things up here, Viminal.
Perhaps once the Warlocks warm up here on the second half, and they can continue their momentum here. Just wait until they get their rifles. But of course, for Portal Warriors, they're going to try to at least mount a comeback, so they're going to be committing to the buys. Marshall in full armor for Ramen, and 4 Spectres for the rest of the team. I'm pretty sure that they're going to try to replicate Yanagi's aggression earlier for the side of Ramen. And again, for duelists like Jet and Reyna, pretty much no man's land is where you thrive as those duelists.
Just a solo mission, a suicide mission, but they're the one with the tools to get the hell out of there. And speaking of getting the hell out of there, Aroma is already smelling blood, getting that takedown onto Yanagi, winning that duel, and backing on away quickly. Casey though N-Cord on the board, and the MCL roster, they don't need Yanagi to kill the opposition. They just need his example, and they have taken that example and taking the reins off the round. 4 versus 2 now in the force buy situation here for the Warlocks. Kaiju alongside his Viper teammate moving on the round. Thing is though, can Akuma even make it in time to begin with? Because Port is prepared already by the screens. Viper setup is a go. There we have the talk screen looking to get in the way. But a beautiful scan right now. Kaiju is pressured, but still gonna get taken down there. Akuma catching out Ice Port right now with the refragment response. It's 2v1, and as Kaiju is trying to hunt down the Reyna, Casey still has the angle anyway. Ignoring the Viper is not the answer there. The Warlocks now steal that round away from Portal Warriors and make their force buy work.
That's absolutely huge. I mean, that momentum flip right then and there. They didn't wait for an adjustment process on the 3rd round. They just like took the gamble and went for the force buy. Perhaps they knew if they just played fast and played as 5-man without 1 flanking, then they could have won the previous round as well. Just going on all in, and again letting Yanagi lead the charge for his team is basically the win condition.
Deploying drone.
Doesn't even need to get the kills. He just needs to make that space. And the Warlocks right now, they are well equipped to go for more rounds. Support the Warriors. They will need a miracle, or they will need a hero play here to get them out of this pickle. Now then, Yanagi dropping on down as Akuma was spotted. Busy with a shorty. Ice will be able to freeze those intentions and get that takedown. Kaiju though, right behind the top screen, beautiful scan though. And Yanagi gonna get felled yet again at the very start. But then again, the Warlocks, they've proven really in the past few rounds that they don't need Yanagi to win this. But of course, he's a big help to their cause. In any case, right now, Port making that Spectre count. There we have it. The classic is whipped out for the right click. And the MCL Warlocks, this is one way they want to win even more. They have the confidence as the roster. They have the whole team setting on up and stepping on up. 13 takedowns right now for Ramen and Aroma on the side of Portal Warriors, but on the flip side, look at how close the Warlocks has become after Yanagi dying early on in the past few rounds. 11-11, 10-10. The Warlocks as a whole are stepping up and proving that they have improved as a team in their caliber of play.
Yeah, it's not just the Yanagi show. It's the rest of the team showing that it is a concerted effort, a team effort that enables Yanagi to frag out. Especially in the second half here, that everyone is basically replicating that same aggression here. Yanagi going to be onto pipes. Let's see. He's actually going to be able to get a pick here. Just...
Oh. Well, there you go. You asked for a pick, and Gao shall receive, Viminal. What else are your orders? Because Yanagi is going to be the Terminator, looking for a few more of those duels.
Spike down
get thrown on that. Cloudburst one way is the response there from Yanagi. And there we go with a drop down just to die. Akuma with the shutdown alongside Ramen. And it's 2v2. Seems like a perfect opportunity here for the Reyna to play the flank. Everyone concentrated onto Akuma. But the timing here for USC, just not as perfect as they would like. There we go with the scan. That's the reload in front of the opposition. And in that awkward scenario, fumbling with his guns, it's the Warlocks taking the win away from the Portal Warriors. 2 more rounds, and it's MCL taking the victory and going up 2-1. Can the Portal Warriors prevent that scenario from happening? Can they prevent themselves going to 0-3? Or will this be case in point if the Warlocks takes this round here, Vim?
It's just a bit of a team diff right now. A lot more coordinated for the side of Warlocks in terms of fundamentals, in terms of their cohesion on their executes here, especially compared to Portal Warriors' performance in the first half. And it seems like they got really demoralized after the first half, but Yanagi, short work of Aroma, and Port does as well.
He was able to hop over one player of Portal Warriors. He basically progressed there, Vimino. He did not want to touch the ice. He just said the floor is lava, or in this case, the floor is frozen. And Ramen right now is trying to get out of this cold slump that the Portal Warriors are on. Spike though gonna get planted. The Warlocks already putting that spike down. There's the duel between Yanagi and Ramen. Ramen, please be careful of the snake bite. You don't want to go a little too much to the left, too much to the right, because Casey have set up the traps. But in the end, he's the one there to hunt you down. It's match point here for the Malayan College's Laguna. The Warlocks are 1 away from moving to 2-1.
Absolutely strong performance from the Warlocks here. Dominating after losing the pistol round here in the second half. They just flipped it right off the bat. They didn't wait for the third round turnaround. They're just like, all right, let's force and then see where it goes. And it worked out well in their favor. They didn't let go of the momentum ever since. Now they have 5 ultimates in their hands. No business losing this match point round.
It's time. They have everything they need and more, Viminal. They have the guns, they have the ults. All they need to do by this point is enable the Reyna and the Jet to go for the hard raid boss carry and use the res to give life to one of those two just in case. But I do believe we're in a bit of a pause here, so just real quick, we gotta say, guys, that if you want to bring esports to your school, the Active Arena Alliance program is here for you. Alliance members clubs get access to our exclusive tournaments, mentorship, event support, and of course the Globe Esports Merit Scholarship. Learn how to join the Alliance today at academia.com/alliance. Besides that, though, get the chance to participate in Acad Arena's major tournaments, win bragging rights, and exciting prizes from our partner brands. Visit app.academia.com, go through the registration process, and you're good to go. But my question here for you, Bim, is what else can the Portal Warriors do? Is this going to be game over, or will the Warlocks find them stumbling against USC? They do decide to go for the operator, though, for the Portal Warriors. And what do you think about this play here from Aroma?
You know, for me at this point in time, for the Portal Warriors, just go all in. Basically, gamble your entire pot, and then just if it doesn't work, then at least you tried your best, because it is match point for Warlocks here. They have been playing really passive for the side of Portal Warriors. I would love to see Ramen take a more aggressive position and challenge the enemy. It's just the Warlocks is so happy to take so much map control, and they're punishing Portal Warriors for that.
Yeah, well, for the Portal Warriors, they just cannot get overrun too quickly. Whether it's Yanagi getting the kills or it's Yanagi making the space for the Warlocks themselves to get the kills, they just need to put a stop to it, and fast. And it's interesting, right? Because we see the Portal Warriors deny that Jet of his glory time after time in the second half. But the results speak themselves. The Warlocks right now, a well-oiled machine, a team in every cog spinning at the right time optimally. And this has been a 4 out of 5 scoreline here for the Warlocks in the second half alone. They won 80% of the rounds so far. They're 1 away from this victory. And really, the MCL roster, this is a very good sign for them. I think if they do get this win this way, they're going to be very happy about it. It's not just relying on their professionally experienced player to go for the hard carry and bring the team to that glory. It feels like we're going past that as the collegiate circuit really evolves, since the pros are getting more and more time on the pro scene, and there are more and more of these collegiate players going pro as well. It does feel like the level of play is elevated, and it will just, I'd say, reflect on everyone else on their respective rosters. So it goes to show that all that experience, all the time that they've had training, it's helping out even here the collegiate circuit, and overall it's going to make the Philippine scene a better place. Yanagi right now, he has had enough. He goes to the Blade Storm, and he wants to go for the push already. Over to A site they come him, and it's already the Warlocks knocking on the doors of the Portal Warriors. One final time, Aroma though with a kill, but Ice right now with a trade onto Ramen using that Hunter Fury.
He gets tagged by that, but he just dashes onto backside. Is he gonna get another kill onto Mike here? Has lose the duel against Mike. That's absolutely huge.
During the after resurrection, but never mind. Board brought back to life as well, and the second chances have been utilized. And if you had to deal with a raid boss that is Yanagi, you're gonna have to deal right now with a raid boss that is the Empress of the Arena on the other side, on the same side rather. Viper Spit now is a go. Kaiji looking on around for a target or two. Strawda will find him there, and Aroma with the operator gets one but can't get the second. It's Board right there, and Ice, an absolute killer yet again. And the Warlocks, it's a team effort to be the slayers of this Icy Kingdom. They will take the victory in a commanding fashion, and we'll move on to a 2-1 scoreline to wrap up our today's games.
Just such an incredible performance from the Warlocks right there, Dex, and it just proved to show that despite Yanagi sometimes, being off the field earlier on the round, they were able to pick up the slack and just secure the win. Perhaps, the biggest problem, Dex, for the side of the Portal Warriors is that they were losing majority of the duels, and we can wax poetic about tactics and strategies all day, but in the end, if you can't shoot head, you don't win game.
Yes, very good. Absolutely crucial point there, Vim. And the thing is, they already get the big head that they need in the first place. They get the most wanted player on the other side, but they just need that extra bit of consistency. You can't just be focusing on the player that everyone knows to shut on down. It has to be the whole team. And with that being said, the Warlocks, not only when Yanagi falls, that's when they would step on up, but I'd see the likes of Ice, if I remember correctly. He would just stay on a proper station. He would stand there, take the bullets coming at him, and he would still win it out at the very end. So really, this Warlocks roster, they have that firepower in them. It feels like just the influence, I gotta say, the mechanical prowess, the sharpness, it's just rubbing off on everyone else. And if that's gonna be the case in point here for the Warlocks, this is gonna be one team you have to watch out for. Even though you're a roster looking to shut down the usual suspects, shut down the player that you know the best, if you do not respect the rest of the Warlocks, they will punish you, they will take you down. And more often than not, it feels like that was the situation in that game, because there were so many opportunities the Warlocks took that the Portal Warriors kind of handed to them in the first place, Bim.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many times that it was a winnable condition, but for example, one of the duelists for the side of the Portal Warriors, forgot to reload, or, fundamental mechanical inconsistencies right then and there. Lack of proper crossfires, lack of proper positioning during the post-plant scenarios, the spike not being planned for them. There's quite a lot to be fixed here in terms of the fundamentals, but again, you're talking about that influence perhaps rubbed off from Yanagi onto the entire team from the Warlocks. And you can see it then and there with their movement. They're very, very comfortable, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, and for USC, it's back to the drawing board. If they want to stay in Division A, they're going to need to get better fast. But besides that, it does seem like that this will be the new chapter for the USC setup. It's all about them trying to, build it up yet again, build up the kingdom that they saw in season number 2. And they have the tools to do so. They have that experience, that foundation. It's just all about making sure that the fundamentals are sound. And that has been the biggest thing about the collegiate scene. We're debating right now. Is it the topic on hand, Viminal? Is it going to be still innovation or tradition? But when you're still questioning...
tradition.
If you're still... No, that's the thing. That's been the debate for what we saw in Teletigers and Veritas Arcas. We saw in Romanson versus FIT especially. There are those teams that are going against the grain and going away from the standards. But my point here for USC has to be that you need to work on that tradition yet again first. You need to get back to your roots. You need to amplify the fundamentals, because that has been the battle so far in University Lions Cup. Here in Season 3, we're getting new battles, but if in that first step already you're struggling, you're not going to be lasting too long here if you can't fight and win in those situations. But there is still hope at the end of the tunnel for USC. It's still a very doable condition to stay on in Division A, and we've seen some shining lights. We saw especially like Ramen Ride. He was one player to watch out for. But there you go, guys. We saw the recap for today's matches. There's the standings now updated. For Group A, it's FIT at the very top, DLSU and USC with the 2-1s there to compete the first half of that scoreboard. And for Group B, I do believe after the win of HAU. They're the only ones with a perfect record right now. 3 teams tied 2-1 in this very, very close-knit field here, Vim.
Absolutely incredible teams, most of which we were expecting to be on the top 3 of either group. Definitely some interesting results. Again, we saw some interesting play styles, some unorthodox team compositions here and there. But yeah, just driving home to your point, Dax, you got to walk before you run. And, that's just the point of it all.
Yeah, and it's just all about learning. Isn't that what we do here in the collegiate circuit? Learn, get better, work on those fundamentals. And for USC, well, there's always the next day. For MCL, they're good to go. And what a day we've had here, Viminal. An incredible conclusion to, well, another day of Division A. And before we go, I do want to ask you, any favorite moments from today's, any match do you remember the most?
You know what? I specifically...
Besides what? Besides the incredible names that you may or may not have almost
okay said. Yeah. Besides that, there was this one incredible play from Zappy, and let me tell you, I did not believe my eyes when I saw it, because I was like, okay, this is a 1v4, you might as well just save the gun, there's no way he can do this, and then he just pulls off a 4K clutch before my very eyes.
No.
And I was like, what is going on? And I'm like, this is why I love Valorant so much, and this is why I love those aim-heavy comps. This is why I love those aim-heavy matchups, because this is just so fun to see, and you don't see it every day.
Yeah, well, for me, I still gotta give my heart out to the HAU versus ADMU game. That victory by HAU, proving yet again why they are one of the top teams to watch out for, and they're not just gonna be they're here to not just dominate in the regular season. They're going to look for more of that playoff journey, that playoff picturesqueness, I'd say. And I think what we're seeing right now is a glimpse of how playoff form can be if they can continue on in this form. So I'm liking what I see here from HAU, and it really goes to show that the teams are just getting better and better here in the University Lions Cup. Division A is the cream of the crop, and we see here that the field is absolutely tight. But for that, guys, it's time for us to call it quits. It has been an incredible day, and we have just had an incredible journey with all these teams. The University Lions Cup wouldn't be a thing without our amazing sponsors and partners, though. UAC 2021 is powered by Globe Telecom, our official telco sponsor, Asus Republic Gamers, our official gaming PC and laptop partner, Logic D, our official gaming gear partner, Riot Games, our publishing partner, and Twitch Student, our platform partner. That being said, I've been Dax, he's been Biminal, and we'll see you guys next week for some more Division B on Friday, Division A on Sunday. This has been the Akad Arena University Lions Cup. We're signing out for today's games.
Go CSB!